Welcome back. This is 89 Volvo, and we are looking at Maneuver Warfare, Panzer Grenadier Battle Group. And today, after a long hiatus, we are back. We're looking at Advance on Osijec. In this replay, I wanted to go a little bit slower, not do too much music, and let you know what I'm thinking as I play through these scenarios, something I rarely do, but today we're going to get a chance to do that. So in this blue area is the setup, and I'll talk a little bit about that. 1941. I have a combat group. I have 2 infantry battalions, 1 tank battalion, an engineer company, anti-tank platoon, 2 batteries of 105mm guns. I got a forward air controller, and I have a recon company, small recon company. It's got 2 sections, and of course it's got an HQ. So that's what I'm looking at to take on Osijec. Now, Osijec is at the end of this valley, and as you can see, you're looking right now at the setup area in the blue. We have trees and a river on our left, and we have trees and a little bit rise of ground on our right. So I'm going to have 1 battalion of infantry, the 2nd battalion, kind of screen my right, move up with me on my right. And the 1st Infantry Battalion and the Tank Battalion and the Recon Battalion are going to go ham and try and get to Osijec as fast as possible. We're going to avoid contact and try and outflank and just go, 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 go.
Tango 1-1.
Six-one Alpha.
Now, in maneuver warfare, there is a company move or a battalion move that lets you move everybody the way you have them organized, and I do that a couple times in this, and it really forced the play, because you can set up your 2 forward, 1 middle, say in a for 3 companies, so you have 2 in attack and 1 in reserve. You can keep your distances as you push forward with this command move in this game, and it allows you to do that. So I start to use that technique and really press the flesh, as it were, and go fast throughout, at least the first few minutes of part 1, which is what we're looking at right now. Fast is relative, because we do have order delays, and I'm playing this on max realism, so nobody just goes. So it takes time to get your comms up, orders are sent, received, and then transferred down. Alright, what's on the screen? What am I looking at? In the lower right, you have receipts, like what I'm hearing from the field, and some units are saying they can proceed, some units are saying we might be able to proceed, some saying we don't have comms, we will proceed anyway. That's down in the lower right. Now, in the top left, you have your units, and they ID your units, and you can see personnel, equipment, fatigue factors, all that good stuff about that. And then down in the lower right is where you set up your group or command moves. You can reorganize your units under a different command structure, and then they will operate as such. And you also set your indirect fire and your forward air controller rules down here in this lower right. And then the gray boxes down here, that's how you do the command moves. So you hit group move, and then you have to hit the headquarters button that corresponds to what unit you are, and then it'll show in the box right above The little tiny boxes are
5-2.
actually the companies in your unit that you get to select to move. So that's what you're seeing. There is a timer down in the middle. Now the UI on this, even though I love the game, is a little bit tight. It plays in a window, and I've yet to find the ultimate resolution. I know the developer is constantly working on this thing. He really is. And the game has had, it's got DLC and it's got updates, so it is a working concept, and it's fun. To the troops, and then they move. So fast is relative.
India 1-2. India 1-4.
Second infantry is going to screen on the right, kind of traffic and find and see. Recon's going to get way out front. We got to find out who's out there, what's out there, why they're out there. And so as the scenario begins, that's what happens. We sprint out, we look, we spread out, then we find, and then you get to when we jump ahead. Jump ahead here to about the 6-minute mark of this video. You could see the first village and how we attempt to take it without firing a shot, and how we set up our encirclement. Infantry goes around, so we fix with the armor. Infantry goes around because they still don't know what's out there, and we get the enemy to fall back, which is the goal. And so that's part 1, and then we'll look at part 2. So here in part 2 is where, I guess for the next 3 minutes, 4 minutes or so, where it plays out, where my tank battalion, a couple companies move forward, we create the ring, we press it. India 1 and his team pushes through the forest and goes to the far crossroads, and the partisans, the militias, the Red Force, whoever they are, or I guess we would be the Red Force because the counters are white and blue, so we'll call them the Blue Force. The Blue Force just falls back, and in their retreat, we pick off a couple units and just obliterate them, just overrun them. Now, what this game does is allows you to put your companies in line formation, kind of an arrowhead formation, or column as you move into the attack. So most of my units were either in line or in this arrowhead platoon attack formation or company formation, depends upon the unit, as we move forward. Now, Tango 1 is the anti-tank unit that sort of got left behind. The engineers got left behind. A couple of headquarters got left behind, but actually they were security on the road, because again, I did not know what was out there in the scenario. So we pushed, and at the end of this is still the end of part 1. Part 2 is actually from the halfway. We hit phase line Lynx and phase line Cougar. Not Lynx, phase line Cougar, which is probably about midway. Phase line Lynx is the goal at the far end, right? So we go halfway with this effort, and then part 2, I will do the narration and finish that up as we go over the top, and then just the tactic was just pedal to the metal and just go. So you will see how that plays out. But so this is the end of phase 1.